I still remember the first time I saw her. The woman everyone called Mama Jerry. She was always by herself, sitting under the old baobab tree on the edge of our village, her head tilted up to the sky. People whispered about her, calling her strange, saying she had lost her mind after her husband died. Some believed she was a witch, a woman cursed to roam the earth with no family. But I was just a child then, and all I knew was that she fascinated me. Mama Jerry was not like the other women in our village. She did not go to the market to sell goods, nor did she join the women who gathered by the river to wash clothes and share stories. Instead, she spent her days speaking to birds. At dawn, she would scatter grains of millet on the ground and whistle softly, and within moments, the sky would darken with wings. Birds of all kinds, pigeons, sparrows, even the bullhawks would land around her, chirping and cawing as if they understood her words. I would watch in awe from a distance, my mother's warning ringing in my ears. Stay away from that woman. One evening, curiosity got the better of me. I had been sent to fetch water from the well, but instead I found myself wandering toward the baobab tree where she sat. I watched as she murmured something to a large gray parrot perched on her arm. When she noticed me, she smiled, a warm, knowing smile, as if she had been expecting me. You have been watching me for a long time, haven't you, Kamau? She said. My breath caught in my throat. How did she know my name? I hesitated, then nodded. She patted the ground beside her. Come, sit. I knew I shouldn't, but my feet moved before my mind could stop them. I sat beside her, careful to keep my distance. Up close, I could see the deep lines on her face, the kind carved by years of laughter and sorrow. Her eyes held something I couldn't place, something ancient, something wise. You're not afraid? She asked. I shook my head. No. She chuckled softly and turned her gaze to the parrot. This is Mzikofi, she said. He's older than you, maybe even older than me. The parrot flapped its wings and made a noise that sounded eerily like laughter. Stared in wonder. How do you do it? I blurted out. How do you talk to them? Mama and Jerry studied me for a moment, then plucked a single feather from the ground and placed it in my palm. It is not about speaking, she said. It is about listening. I did not understand what she meant, but I nodded anyway. That evening, when I returned home, I told no one about our meeting, but something inside me had changed. From that day on, I visited Mama and Jerry whenever I could. I learned how to whistle the different calls, how to tell when the birds were warning of danger or simply chatting amongst themselves. She taught me their names in our mother tongue, names my own grandparents had long forgotten. I learned that when the weaver birds built their nests high, the rains would be heavy, and when the crows gathered in large numbers, a visitor was coming to the village. Then one day, Mama Jerry did not come to the baobab tree. I searched for her, my heart pounding. When I finally found her, she was lying in her small hut, her breaths shallow, her eyes half closed. Mzikofi perched silently beside her. She smiled weakly when she saw me. My time is near. Kamau, she whispered. No, I said, shaking my head. You cannot go. She placed a frail hand on mine. Do not be sad, child. I have lived my days, and now it is time for me to rest. Tears burned in my eyes. Who will talk to the birds now? She chuckled, a weak, tired sound. You will. I opened my mouth to protest, but she pressed the feather she had once given me into my palm. Listen, she said. Always listen. Mama Nyeri passed away that night. The village buried her beneath the baobab tree, and the day after her burial, something remarkable happened. Hundreds of birds gathered in the branches, singing the sweetest songs I had ever heard. It was as if they were saying goodbye. I never forgot what she taught me. Even now, as an old man, I still listen. And when the birds call, I answer